Hello and welcome to West Country Wanderings. Just a little secret, I don't know how this video is going to turn out today. A little bit out of sorts. We've got some very hot weather forecast over the next couple of days, and that's kind of scuppered my plans. I was hoping to get down to Devon and Cornwall again. One of the reasons was to go to my dentist, but I've had to put that on hold because we've got temperatures 35, 36 degrees and I don't want to travel in that. So I'm like the day or two before that all happens. So if you're watching this now, hope it was all okay. So there's probably be in the past, after the heat wave, the first real heat wave, I don't think the Met Office has ever issued a red alert before. So I've come back to the village of Box. Now about 2 or 3 weeks ago I did a photography one. This isn't a photography one, so don't worry if photography doesn't interest you, because it isn't a photography one. We were at the village of Box and I was trying out a new lens. In fact, the lens I'm actually recording this on at the moment. And I started to walk around the village, and I noticed when I got back home and looked at the OS map that just down in the bottom of the valley below Box there were some interesting things, including a couple of old mills and a disused mine. I've no idea what the mine was for. So I thought, oh, that looks an interesting valley to explore. So I'm in between the village of Box and the town of Nailsworth at the moment, a very quiet little wooded valley here. So I thought we'd just have a little trip here, see what we can see. I've no idea, as I say, what we're going to see today, but whatever it is, what we do see, I'll capture it on the camera and with my microphone. So why not join me again here on West Country Wanderings. So I've just come to our first location, and as you can see, delightfully, the mill at this point, and I'll insert the OS map so you can see where we are now, has been beautifully restored. It looks like it's offices for an alarm company. I think a couple of them might be apartments as well. We also have the original mill pool here with some sluice gates, and I'll just do a video clip of that in a bit. But this is a wonderful spot. So it's woodland walk all the way just down to this. It was a little bit industrial site, and you're above a garden centre, which was quite noisy, but delightful wood on this hot day, although it is going to get much hotter shortly. But yeah, I'll just do some more video clips and insert some of the photographs I've taken here today too. So we have this beautiful mill here with this stream running through it. It's absolutely delightful. It's been currently restored. Really enjoying the spot there, and the water is running clear. Let's see if we can go around the front. There's also a chimney, so if I can get a shot of that. It's really tall, so I've got the wrong lens on. I'll change that and insert a photograph of that in a bit. But yeah, we'll have a look at the front of this one, and then we'll see if we can go and find one of the other mills along this beautiful valley here in Gloucestershire. So we have the delightful the Weybridge Inn. And we're just going up there. That road carries on to the left there. That takes you up to the village of Evening. We're going to make our way a bit further over this delightful... Well, it would have been a bridge, but I'm not sure where the Weybridge was, whether it was at the back of the inn or not. Do 2-in-1 pies there. Not sure what that's all about. If you're a foodie and live in the Stroud area, perhaps you can let me know. So yeah, it's all rather delightful here. Beautiful views down there. In fact, it's this point here, probably near where that car is, that we go from Stroud district into Cotswold district in terms of local council authorities. But you can certainly see the Cotswold influence in those cottages there by this delightful stream. Now at this point we can make our way down there, back into the woods, which seems quite a good idea because it's hot, but I wanted to see what we could see because it says some mills and also a disused mine, which is down in this direction. Now, there was an old milestone there, but sadly the plaque on it has been long removed. Probably gave you the indication of the miles in Roman numerals to places like Stroud, Nailsworth, and maybe even Cirencester or Tetbury. Now that down there is Stroud Court. We're not in Stroud, as I say, we're on the outskirts of the Cotswold town of Nailsworth, and it says it's the Stroud Court Community Trust supporting adults with autism. Well, sounds quite interesting. Obviously, as you know from my channel, I have autism too, and we do struggle in the outside world interacting with people. And it sounds like it's kind of a sheltered housing community, but I've not heard of it before. That sounds interesting, but it looks like it's on the site of the former Longford or Longford's mill. Obviously I don't want to commit that to trespass walking down there. So I will see if I can get round to it in a different direction and have a look down from above. Now, just behind this fence are the remains of Box's ironstone mine. In fact, this area is owned by the National Trust and it's called Ironstone Common. All I knew about it, there was a thing saying mine disused obviously, on the OS map, and I was putting in places like Box, Avening, Nailsworth, disused mine, nothing coming up on the internet at all, so I had no idea. I didn't even know until this point it was in fact an ironstone mine. Of course, the National Trust sign just back there, I'll insert that now, confirms obviously this was mined here for ironstone. If you just look at it briefly, it does look like a limestone quarry, and then when you look in more detail, and I have managed to get some shots through my other lens through the fence, so it kind of deletes the fence if you like, so you can see beyond the fence, and it is quite dark, but I'll hopefully be able to enhance it so you can see there's like a metal grill, and that's like on the base of the quarry floor, and that was obviously the main entrance. I would imagine it was an adit, or certainly was an adit that went further past the quarry face to mine out and extract iron ore, ironstone. Unfortunately, I don't have any more information. I don't know when this mine opened and I don't know when it closed. It's very little known about it. The only thing I know about ironstone in the Gloucestershire, South Gloucestershire area is of course what we touched on at the village, appropriately named village, of Iron Acton. I certainly wasn't aware of any ironstone minings that took place in the Strand Valleys, but this indeed confirms it. If anybody watching this has any more information about this fascinating and interesting mine here just outside the village of Box, please drop a comment in the usual way below. Thank you. So this is Ironstone Common behind me, and if I continue up that way, then we'll bring us back out in the village of Box and then back onto Minchinhampton Common. I'm going to track my way a bit lower down because it's going to follow the line of the trees. As I say, it's a very hot day. What I then intend to do is make my way back to Minchinhampton Common. I'll bring the video to a conclusion there, but before I conclude it properly, I'll see if I can get anything more of Longford Mill by just driving the car down there, because I don't want to walk. It's a bit too far in this heat because it's quite an exposed location. There isn't any tree cover in that area. I can't promise anything, but I'll see what I can do. Anyway, I'm going to continue in this direction along here. I'm enjoying the walk here today, and I didn't expect to see what we could see, that ironstone mine. As I say, if you do have any more information, I'd love to hear from you. See you in a bit. We've now come to Boxwood. I'll just read the sign. It says the woodland is owned on behalf of the local community by Box Woodland Community Trust and managed by the Gloucestershire Wildlife Trust. The purchase of this woodland was initiated by Box Village Society with generous donations from local residents and with support and contributions from Gloucestershire Wildlife Trust, the Langtree Trust, Minchinhampton Parish Council and the Novalis Trust. So there, yeah, that's wonderful. Just have a quick look inside. It goes up quite steeply. You can hear blackbirds rustling around in there. And as it says there, they don't allow cycling here, which is good, because obviously that damages the tracks. It's just a footpaths only crossing through this lovely little nature reserve. Just come across this curiosity here, just above the private house of Holcombe in the village of Box. Box always seems to have surprises. My initial thought was it for a spring or a well, but I really don't know. I've just taken some photographs of the outside of it. I'm just wondering if it was something that was actually formerly bricked up there. There's no water running through it. Obviously it's damp because of where it is by the wood and also sheltered in, but does anybody know what this is for? Was that formerly another mine that went back through there and it's now been subsequently bricked up? Again, if you do know, and you live local to Box or Stroud and you know what this is, please let me know below. I've just skirted around a road called the Devil's Elbow. That is very, very quiet. Not one other car has passed me, but it's skirting around the valley. I'm following the contour, which means you don't have to go up and down, which I'm quite grateful for on this hot day. And we've got some new gates down there. Just insert a photograph of that there with a plaque which was done in 2017. Again, we're on the other side of Boxwood, still owned by the Gloucestershire, or run by the Gloucestershire Wildlife Trust and managed for on behalf of the Box Village community. And another set of gates here is the entrance to the wood there. That really is quite delightful. Well, I'm glad that you could join me on this impromptu wander, I think I'm going to call it today. I came out without any plans at all. I had a vague idea where I was going to, hadn't researched it, apart from just looking at the OS map previously, and just that mind prompting some interest, so I thought I'd just park up. So yeah, what did we find here? We found the ironstone mine, which was of course probably the most interesting thing today of today's wander. We also had a look at, well, I don't know what it was, an old well, an old mine, don't know, really interesting. Please let me know below. And of course we started with that terrific mill, and if I've gotten more information on the mill, I either will have done by now, or I'll put it up around now, the exact name of the mill and what I know about its history, if I can find anything on that tale. But it's good to see it's been restored, it hasn't been demolished. Chimney looks in great order with a mortar and everything, and it's right next to that former mill pond with a sluice gate, and everything's running nice and clear. There was no litter or anything in that at all, so that was terrific. If you enjoyed it today, please consider a share on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Really appreciate it if you could do that, or perhaps a like on YouTube, or a comment below, or indeed a subscribe, and then hit the bell. Then YouTube will notify you when the next one uploads on my channel, West Country Wanderings. Until next time on that channel, take care of yourselves, look after yourselves, and I hope to see you around again very, very soon. All the best. Bye-bye.